Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday to you. I was almost going to say Wednesday. And welcome. I want to welcome Joan, Wisdom Seeker Joan, and Diana Bowles, Oil Painter, and myself. And we are going to be doing some readings. And it depends upon how many that that we have that shows up in the show. I'm going to be using the giveaway tool, but if we don't have a lot of people, because it's usually when Mark's on that it gets busier, we can try to get to your reading if not. So don't be discouraged but we do need you here to do it. So thank you for putting in the # and the word read. And that will put you in the queue for the questions and the answers and so on. And yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay. Everybody got their taxes done. We were just talking about that. Getting there, huh? Yes, it's # Ness. Yeah. It does. A small r is fine, but I think it will work whether it's small or large. I think it does. As a matter of fact, let me just look at the giveaway tool. I have, 16 entries here, and I think that we had 19 people when that came out. So, yeah. Interesting. Anyway. So let's say hi to some folks here today. We have, I'm going way, way back here. We have Star Midnight and Anja, and we have Carl and Beanie, Sabine. Nice to see you. Warrior Widow, Ginny, Wiki, Ness, of course, is here. I said Star Midnight. All right, who else came in? Samantha. Wiki, Barbara Berkman, Sonia's here, and Ruby Starfire's here, and so is Annie Hamlett and Anja Ashdown, and let's see who else came in. Bora Bora Janet, Laura, Ginny, Nancy, Chandel, Lois. Wow, play love remember. Maybe we will have to use the card. That's fine. Annie, you're in sunny Arizona. Well, it's pouring here. I wish I was with you. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here. We have Elvira Alto. Nice to see you. And Kathleen Bourgeois, Ellen, Denise Fletcher. How are you, dear? It's good to see you. All right. I said Annie, didn't I? Yeah, I think I did. Sue Toffee. Wow, we got like 36 people here now. Okay, yeah. So we'll go ahead and pull from the giveaway tool for now. We'll see how it goes, and just let us know you're here. I usually pull 3 names and ask if those 3 people can just tell me they're here, and that really makes a difference later because sometimes somebody might already have decided to leave for whatever reason. So yeah. All right, let's see then. Let me put this up on the stage. Whoop. And here we go. Okay, first person is Warrior Widow. And Warrior Widow, make sure you put in a yes that you're here, but also what your question is if you haven't already done so. That's important. And so the second person is Ness. Wow.
I had a feeling.
You did. Okay.
I got a feeling deep inside. Oh, yeah.
Annie Hamlett. All right. All right. So we'll read for the 4 of you first. 4 of you, yeah, because I can't count. The 3 of you first, and then we will. And you only need to put in the # and the word read 1 time. And that's sufficient. We will know that you are in the queue. And let's see. So Ness is next. Ness, did you have a question? I think you might have. Warrior Widow, are you here? Maybe you already said so. Maybe you're writing in your question. All right. We'll start with Ness then, and Warrior Widow. And Annie, you got yours in. Thank you. All right. So Warrior Widow, just put in your question if you would, and we'll get to you. Job search starting next month. What do I see?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you, dear. Oops, I'm sorry. Wrong. You just touch these things and they...
Well, the first thing that came in, Ness, is a song by Three Dog Night.
Oh.
What goes up must come down. Spinning wheels got to go round. So that is where you're going to start. There's going to be a little up and a little bit down, and it's going to feel like, oh, when is this going to break? But I got two cards, and I'm not going to go any farther with cards because we first have the Two of Pentacles, which basically goes right with that song.
Doesn't it? It's like balance, right? Yeah.
Right? You're going to fill out a ton of resumes and applications, and then you're going to get some response, and then you're going to be waiting, and then all of a sudden you've got the Four of Pentacles there, right? And they're just going to come in, flooding you. You're going to have a choice. There's going to be 3, 4, that are willing to hire you. So you're going to end up with a choice in the end of how things are going to go.
All right. That sounds good. Joan?
That sounds good. When I tuned in, Ness, I saw, okay, we're on a river and you're standing on top of this. It's kind of like a canoe that has a top on it or something like that. I'm not quite sure what, but you're like out on the front part of the canoe, but it's really a narrow vessel. So it's like a narrow, like a sculling boat or something like that. And you're standing on it. I thought, okay, well, what's this about? And it's two things. You need to narrow your focus, really focus in on what you want, and then you're going to stand above the competition. You're going to stand out. So then it's kind of narrow your search or your focus on what you really want. And it might take a while to get there, but the Knight of Pentacles is there with a lot of, the money's coming. It just might take a while to get there because it's kind of a slow moving knight. But keep your goal focused in mind, because you've got the Canada Goose who says your dreams and desires are calling you to action. So keep manifesting exactly what you want, and that's going to help things move more quickly. And then I got the Archangel Gabriel, who's going to be there with a great message for you. Ooh. So I think, yeah. And stick to your guns and speak your truth throughout the process. And I think it's going to come to you.
Awesome.
And Ness says, I think the tariff situation is going to make the market slow up. And yeah.
How about that book too? Like she wanted to finish the book. So this could also be, the hemming and hawing with getting to the final chapter and finishing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Canadian Goose are fierce. Well, that's good to know, CJ. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I have here you may be locked out of some things, or things may be unavailable, just as you were talking about the tariffs. But you are the one that's driving your car. You're the one who's holds the steering. And it says, just be ready for a fluid situation. I think all of us actually need to hear that. because I was talking last night about on another show I was doing with the sisters, and I said, just be comfortable not knowing. That's about it.
Yeah.
You just, and we're not comfortable when we don't have some kind of a knowing that this will change or this too will pass or whatever. But yeah. Wow. Okay. Thanks, Ness. Thank you, my dear. All right. So we've got Annie, Hamlett, and Warrior Widow. I don't know if you're back. If you are, please. Okay. Let us know what your question is, because you did get pulled. But Annie's here for something from her guides. Yeah. Hi, Carolyn, Peter.
So you're working on something new, and they're showing me that you're ready to walk through this portal, and that there is a new method that you're receiving downloads on your own, that you need to open up to more of your gifts, because you're the one holding yourself back. You already have a very good idea of where you want to be in your spiritual self. And they're showing me, oh, it's beautiful. It's a stained glass window in a cathedral. This is I'm sorry, I'm getting chills. It is, the mosaic of the glass is ever so small, each little tiny piece, but it's fit together beautifully, and it is filling up this whole space in front of you. And as the colors come through, it's like their frequency is all so different from the next one. They're not blending all into one big color. That frequency keeps coming through on a steady stream for the color that you are picking up on. And what is color? It is a frequency, it is a number, so take your pick. From tarot cards to visions to dreams to numerology, whatever it is you are getting ready to study, go for it. Yeah. Because practice is half of the study.
Absolutely.
So that's wonderful. And I think it kind of goes along what I was getting to. When I tuned in, did you ever play, or maybe with your kids play with that game Candyland when there were kids? I remember that. That's what I saw. And I heard Burl Ives singing, "Oh, the birds and the bees and the peppermint trees," and all. Because I think there's Big Rock Candy Mountain or something like that.
Yes.
So and it's like, okay, what's this about? And it's about a couple of things: the sweetness and the magic of life, and to get into that vibe, and good, wonderful, magical things will start coming. And so I think it is kind of like, oh, whatever you're thinking about, it's like, don't be so practical about it. Imagine what you want, and then put some power behind it. These are the very skilled craftspeople who, are sharing their wares.
That did come up for her, but I was talking so much I didn't show it.
And they put that imagination and work into their crafts, and then it's the Three of Pentacles. Then money comes their way, and then I also got the hummingbird to kind of, what is it? Release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way. So you can't get better than that. And then prioritize joy, play, and pleasure. This is a hard one to see, but it's just this.
It's beautiful colors. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Archangel of Joy, you can't get better than that.
Well,
a hummingbird and joy.
Rainbow, right? All the skills are coming out of all of their collections of flavors.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was fun, Annie.
And what did I get? I got June.
Ooh.
I think by the summertime you're going to feel a lot like you've made some progress, Annie. And it says new beginnings, and you're going to balance out what it is that they want you to do. And then I get frogs, which is interesting, but it says self-expression and creation and being carefree. So there's something about the summer, and I know you live in Arizona, so of course it's a lot hotter probably there. But there's just something about the summer that's freshly open to new beginnings. So there you go. Yeah, Jeremiah was a bullfrog. That's right. Huh? I love it. I love it, love it, love it. All right, so Warrior Widow is not here, so we're going to move on and do this again. If you just got here and you want to be read, you need to put the pound sign in and the word read to be in the queue. We pull from there, and you need to be here to be read. So if you end up leaving, just let me know. So, all right. So Carolyn, nice to see you. Carolyn Adams. All right. Very nice. It's almost time to go out in your little travel trailer again, Carolyn. Yeah.
The teardrop.
Yeah, teardrop. Yep. Beanie. All right. I love the cat. That's cute.
Yeah.
It's like it's licking a window or licking the inside of the television. Have you ever seen that one before? It's funny.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So Juanita, Ruby, there you go.
Ruby.
I'm going to pull one more just because. So we'll have 4 in the queue. I have Carolyn Adams, Beanie, and Ruby Starfire.
And I think they're all here.
Great. Christine's next after all those folks. All right. Excellent. Excellent news. So if you did not already put in your, oops, I'm getting the wrong thing. If you did not already put your question in, please make sure you do. All right. No, it's not, Janet. Actually, Joan, you're not glitching.
I know.
Joan,
Isn't that amazing?
Joan didn't stream anywhere else today, so it's just here. But she was trying to see if it would matter if she started glitching, and apparently it does matter. So
yeah. So I will just do this from now on.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, make sure that I get the first one. Here is Carolyn. Did Carolyn Adams put in a question?
Yes. Should I go on a cruise in the fall? Worried about the world situation. It was a very recent one.
Okay. All right, Carolyn. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to try to pull the cards and be open to the answer. I know what my ego says, but yeah. Flower Beauty, you have to put in the pound sign and the word read and then put your question in. So you want to know, should you go on the cruise? All right. Yep, that's fine. Yep. Thank you, Carolyn. Hi, Tea Garden Chicken. Nice to see you. All right. Go on a cruise in the fall. It's so hard to put your life on hold for some of this stuff that's going on, you know? Well, I got some interesting cards, Carolyn. I get affinity, first of all. And I'm thinking that you would be going with somebody you have an affinity with, whether it be a friend, your sister, or your husband, whatever it is. And so you're discussing it right now, whoever it is that you're going to go with. I do see an interruption. I don't know if that means you'll decide as things move on. I would get travel insurance just in case. I think it's fairly cheap to get that so that if you can't go, but then there'll be a clearing, it says. So maybe the interruption will go away and you'll have a clear sail. I don't know. Let's see what the other ladies have.
Mine, when I tuned in, I saw, well, it depends on where you go. If it's like along the coast of North America, would be fine. I felt a little iffy about crossing the Atlantic. And let's see, but then I started pulling cards and I got the 3 of Cups, which looks like a big celebration. So maybe you're going with 2 other friends and that looks fun. And then I got the Blueberry of Happiness. You can't
Oh,
fight with that. And
Mhm.
Archangel of Harmony. So those all look good. So then I was like confused and went back to the pendulum, and it said, would it be in your highest interest to go? And it thought for a while, but said yes. And yeah, so think about it. I think the insurance is a good idea. Sometimes that's hard, read the fine print. Sometimes that's
Yeah.
hard to collect on.
True. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
But you're up to the task, Carolyn. I know.
Yeah. There you
Well,
go.
and the I kept getting similar in that don't go into Cuban waters. However, similar in the sticking to the shoreline would be
Yeah.
okay. And so it's the cards I drew made me stop and think about this, because what Aley said about the waffling back and forth, we have the soul star chakra. So you have to give this thought. What does your guiding light tell you? What does your inner light say? And then it said the crown chakra came up next. So mind over matter, mind over heart, the connecting of the mind and the heart. And then you find the right place in the middle. And I love that Aley used the Uncle Wiggly cards. So I had to get them out too to see. and honey, just like you, I've got this support. So there's your affinity support. You're going with someone that you have an alliance with. So as long as you have that support, someone to go with, so that you're certain to have an enjoyable time.
Mhm. Yes. Very good. Yeah, and of course, it would make sense that you would be with somebody and not probably going by yourself. But
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you, Carolyn. Yeah. Go ahead, Debbie. Go ahead.
Well, weighing it out to see how things go step by step along the way here. I mean, I'm not that far up on astrology in what it's going to be like in the fall, but the stage is set for things to start to feel a little better in October.
Yeah.
Oh, she wants to go to Europe or the Greek islands. Also thinking closer to home might be better. Yeah.
It's volatile right now. And of course, this is the energies we're reading today. So, yeah.
Right.
I don't blame you. I would love to go to the Greek islands. Yeah. That's nice. Well, thank you, Carolyn. Yes, for your question. Next, we have Beanie. And Beanie says, does my German dad have a message? He died over 50 years ago. His name is Hans.
Okay.
Did he wear suspenders? I'm seeing a gentleman in suspenders, and he's doing the old slap dance, but he's not wearing lederhosen. He's got a shupa in his hand. He's young. Was he quite young when he died, when he crossed over? Was he in Vietnam? He's like having a good time over there. And he just keeps going back to doing the slapping dance.
Where you hit your feet, you hit your hand with your feet as well.
Yeah, the hand, the knee, the thigh.
Not in Vietnam. No,
each other.
He was in his 50s. He was in his 50s, she says, and not in Vietnam. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, are you finished?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. When I tuned in, the first thing I saw was an Easter lily, and it was like a plant, like if you go to somebody's house for Easter. And so I think he's, maybe he wants to celebrate Easter with you, but it's also the purity of that white lily and the fresh start and the new beginning, and also is feeling like it was the purity of his love for you, that he really loved you. And when I and just sends you his best, and maybe he wants to be there on Easter with you and celebrate with you. I also went to the cards and got the victory card, the victory after struggle, which is wonderful. And so I'm wondering, what was the struggle? I think it was that his transition was a victory for him, but I think he's also saying how proud he is that it was hard to lose your dad that young, and that he feels like you've been, it was a struggle, but you're victorious, and he's really proud of you for that. Then I also got the pheasant feather, which is the time is ripe for connection and creation, and is encouraging you to focus on that, to kind of like, you've done a good job, and just keep focusing on the creation part and the connection. Think about him. You might start seeing him in your dreams. I think he wants to connect. And then I got the Archangel of Virtue, who just says, open your heart, and he'll be there for you too.
Wow.
I'm a little behind, but I did post some cards.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I still had pulled them because he came in so quickly dancing. So there's a paradigm shift going on. And part of the reason why I may have been having a hard time hearing his voice is because he's getting ready to make a transition. His soul is getting ready to come back to earth. However, that is not going to stop him from being able to hear you and be able to make appearances to you. All you have to do is open your throat chakra and begin to call him in. And have the Merkaba, the full, all the shapes that the Merkaba makes, right? The transition here, butterfly goes from a caterpillar into a being with wings. So I think that he's definitely making a change of where he is, be it back to earth or getting his wings as an angel.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm just wanted to say thank you to Peter and Carolyn Booker for the donation, which she wanted to go to memberships. And so there's some memberships that have just been, and the computer just randomly chooses who gets it. So just so you know, but your thanks need to go to Carolyn, not me. And I want to remind you that you don't know this, but we have a membership meeting on Saturday. So you're welcome to come because you're now a member. And there's a place on the community post page that tells you all that information. It gives you that. There you go. All right. So the next person we have is Juanita, aka Ruby Starfire. And let's see if I can find her. Here we go. If my name comes up, what more can I do? What is it I need to know? I try to stay in joy. I try not to hold on to any emotions. What more must I do to heal? Honey, I want you to know every single one of us has this question. So thank you for asking it. And I just want you to know that you are not alone. That's all. All right. Let's see what we're going to find out.
I'm going to pull out a blind spot card for her.
There you go. No,
because it's a place where we all are, and this may be maybe something destined for all of us. I have to use the book also because it's not on the card. Oh, where'd the book go?
You'll find it after the show.
Oh, right. Of course I will.
Yeah. It happens to me so much. Yeah. All right.
This is so odd. Ruby Sapphire, when I tuned in, I saw like a little soldier boy, like all dressed up like a tin soldier, you know, in the blue and the red and the big hat and all of that, and with a snare drum. So he's marching along with the whole group that he's with and playing the snare drum. And I heard, you don't need to do more, you just need to be constant. And then they were helping me move, think about the drumming and just keep up the beat, keep it up, sort of like in a drumming circle. You don't just do it for 5 minutes. It goes on and on and on, and you get deeper and deeper into it. And so just kind of, you're doing everything right. Just keep it up and, you know, fight the negative thoughts when they come in, or not fight, but recognize them and transmute them and let them go and just get back to your drumming. And it's funny because I pulled cards for you and I got two that have come up before, even though I've shuffled. It's the Three of Pentacles. Work on whatever creative thing that you're doing, or that you might like to do, and you might be able to make some money at it. You know, all the creative things that you're working on. But it's also just the benefit you get from it might not be money. It might be vibrational, that working on creative things or something that you're interested in can help keep your vibration high. And I got the Blue Bird of Happiness, because doing this will keep you in that vibration. And this is a different one. It's the Archangel Ariel, who says connect with nature. So if there's one other suggestion that they're having, if you're not doing it already, just go out and watch the birds or look at whatever's growing in your neck of the woods. And that can be really, really healing too.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Wow. Yeah. Did you find the book?
I did.
Okay.
So I love this because when I looked at it, I kind of, as you were describing your soldier with the little drum, I saw this face come up, right? And it kind of looks just like somebody who would be dressed up in the marching band. Anyway, we have the card 74, which reduces to 11, which is a portal number. Now, what this card has to say goes right along with what you were saying, Joan, in that it's a means to an end of an attitude. And consistency is how we get to that end. And what this is talking about is, don't do things you don't like. If there's pressure on you to do something that you don't like, why not look at it as your calling can be your career and try to shift gears? So what is it that makes you happy? Start beating that drum. Keep marching to the drum, to the beat of your own drum. And there you'll find happiness.
Wow.
And that's stepping forward. I love that, don't you? I mean,
I do. So what I pulled out for you is you got the dog, who's the loyal one. The dogs, by the way, a dog's tail wag registers 500 on the activation scale from Hawkins. And I'm sure a cat probably has something in there, but they're all 500, unconditional love. So it says here that you have the loyal, and I know you have a dog, but you have the loyalty to what you want to do, Juanita, and they're recognizing that. Then I get the butterfly, and they said, you're evolving. You're evolving right now. Keep working to evolve. But again, don't try not to hold expectation of a time frame, because spirit timing is what, we don't know. But the last one I got was the worm, and kind of a fancy looking worm here, but it says renewal. So your evolution is going to help you renew your commitment to what it is that you really want. But I agree with the ladies that you need to do what it is you love to do. That's the most important thing, whether or not, you're doing it just because you can't not do it, if that makes sense.
And what does the worm do? If you cut him in half, he can grow his tail back.
That's true.
You get two worms. So
yeah, you do.
You don't
Yeah.
have, right? You can go in two separate directions at the same time.
Yeah.
It's another way to look at it, you know.
And they
Absolutely.
eat the compost and make the soil. So it's a transformational thing, just like you were saying.
Chew it up and
That's very
spit
true.
it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's good, Juanita. Well, just know, Juanita, that all of us right now, everything's up in the air. Yeah. And we're supposed to try to be comfortable. It's not easy to be comfortable when we don't know where we're going and what's going on. But please know you're not alone. And yeah, thank you. All right. So the person we have here is Christine, who won the reading next, if I can find her.
That card made me think of the Dune books. And
Oh,
Dune,
yes, it looked like Doom. You're right.
Let's
You're
ride
right.
the worm.
That's right.
Good work.
So Christine wants a reading from her guides as to a current situation she's going through.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. While they are doing that, I am just going to pull some more names here so we can just move on when we're done reading for Christine.
Okay.
All right. Lois is next. And Lois, let us know you're here and let us know what your question is, if you would. Right. Anita K. Same thing for you, Anita. Not necessary to put your name in more than once, or the pound read sign, I guess, hashtag read. I always think of it as a pound sign. All right, Pooja, you're number 3. And let's get back to doing a reading for Christine. All right.
So they were showing me layers. And it was like just like when you flop a sheet and you're getting ready to fold it. But there's all these layers of sheets and pillowcases and flat pieces of laundry. And they were all different colors. And they're just floating down. And then they showed me a pile of shirts, long sleeve t-shirts that were being folded very neatly into thirds and then into thirds again. And you were piling them up and the sheets kept falling on top of this pile of fresh laundry and kept toppling over. So you are in this place where you are constantly making these adjustments. What I think that they're trying to show is that first sort the size. They are not going to get wrinkled while you're waiting for that to be finished, so that you can fold the sheet, pile it there, fold a pillowcase, pile it there. Worry about sorting the colors and what it is, what the item is later. You want to put all the sheets together by colors, by sets. You want to put the shirts together by shape and color, whatever. But you have to go through the layers, one layer at a time, to get through this situation.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just going to keep falling over.
Cool.
Beautiful. When I tuned in, I saw an Easter lily for the second time today, and this one was just cut off. It wasn't a plant, and it wasn't in a fancy crystal vase or anything. It was just in like a glass jar. So it was like the simplicity and the beauty, and you don't need something fancy. It's just as beautiful in just like an old mayonnaise jar as it is if it were in some fancy kind of crystal. So it's something about recognize the beauty in simple things. And then when I went to simple beauty and the freshness and all of that, went to the cards, I think there's something keeping you up at night. I think you're worried. And to just, maybe focus on something beautiful like the flower or whatever. And then I got the magpie that's like reevaluate your priorities. It's time to let go of what you no longer need. And what you no longer need is worry. And it's real important because I know from my personal experience in the last week or so, I freaked out about some things, and boy, did they manifest fast because I was worried, and I was doing exactly that. So it's not just an airy fairy thing. It's protective. And then the Archangel Chamuel says, be what you want to attract, because if you're this, you'll attract that. And you don't want to do that. So it's kind of let go of that and be what you want to attract, and think about something beautiful.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, and this was because I'm not quite sure what the current situation is. I did a yes, no, and I got a yes. And I asked a little bit more about the situation, whatever it is. And asked, will it work out in your best interest? And I got yes, but it might not be right away. So there's a couple of different approaches.
So yeah, I got rest and enjoy some refreshment of the world, or use a ritual that makes you feel comfortable with, and that might be help you to get to sleep as well, if that's a problem. But the next thing I get is you can manifest whatever you want, because there's the maypole, and that's coming up in just a few weeks. So stay the course. There you go. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Anita, I see you're here, and thank you for letting us know. Do you have a question, though? Do you want to have just a general reading, or do you have a question for us? Put it in so we can answer yours after we do Lois. Okay? Thank you, dear. All right. So Lois is here.
And Christine, if your situation has anything to do with the initials MP, we got the maypole and the magpie. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Very true. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Lois.
Got meandering pieces.
Okay.
What Claire would like me to focus on?
No, Annie, we did not call you, so you didn't miss anything. Sorry. I mean, good and bad, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, Anita. Thank you, dear. All right. So Lois, what they like you to focus on. Pull some other cards here.
They want you to. Oh, wow. I have to take this bottom card also. So first I heard you have clairaudience. You need to focus on that and stop feeling as if that is a vulnerability. It is not. You're not hearing things. You're hearing things. They're really coming your way. You're hearing, you're hearing the sound that a dragon makes as he's ruffling his breath out, or his roar. You're hearing the frequency of crystals. You're hearing the frequency of the lotus blossom opening as the water laps underneath. You are hearing these things. They will have special meaning to you. It is about also opening up your third eye chakra in order to allow that imagination to connect with what it is you're hearing, to understand that it is not necessarily the whole of the image, but rather what the image represents and how it pertains to the situation. And that in itself can be something that changes. You have many unique gifts, and understanding that you are hearing da 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 da. The rest of it's all just going to come together, and all your clairs will open up.
Yeah.
That is so great. When I tuned in, I got the first thing I felt was my throat chakra, which is about hearing and speaking your truth. And then it tied in with the third eye. So it's like envisioning yourself holding that higher vision of yourself and believing and seeing that you can really do this. I got the crane, which this is about beneficial partnerships, but I think in this case, it's really referring to the higher chakras, all, maybe all three of them, but definitely the third eye and the throat chakra. And I got the Archangel Raziel, who says, learn, change, and grow. But this is a lot of blue and purple in there. So those higher chakras, the third eye and the throat chakra.
I just love that,
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh.
Yep. Awesome. So I ended up pulling a couple of cards from the spiritual gifts deck that I have.
Ooh.
And, you could take this or leave it, Lois, but what I really love is that we can all use candle magic. It's not that difficult. A lot of people will be able to see things in the candles. But remember that it's setting the ambiance and it's setting the mood and bringing you more into connection with what is unseen. So hopefully that makes sense. And then maybe you got that beautiful baby dog there on the front of your avatar. It says you can communicate with him anytime you want. And it says here, you're being called to convey the messages and wisdom. And you might already do that. Because if I watch my dogs and they have like a certain way of looking or feeling or whatever, and I always say, I think I know what they're thinking. I really do. It's like, oh, I've seen that look before. That means this, So those two things are something that you might be able to see some luck with, or really anything that you feel more comfortable with. But it was interesting because Diana said about hearing and the dragon and, and what Joan said, it all seems to make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know this about dogs. This is pretty much in line because Gloria has gone almost completely deaf. And she will just look at me and then she'll just do it with her eyes. And I talk to her and it's like she's reading my lips. Right. And then because I know she can't hear me, because if she's not looking at me.
Yeah, she don't know. Yeah.
No. And she's 16 years old. So I'm very lucky that that's the only thing that's gone from her. So
that's true. Very true. You are. Yeah, that's extraordinary. And she's a bigger dog. She's not, the other one is smaller.
Yeah. Grizzly weighs 10 pounds. She weighs 19, 20.
Yeah. Well, thank you, dear. Yeah.
And a pretty girl.
And a pretty girl. That's right. All right. So Anita just would like a general reading.
Okay.
Okay. Next will be Pooja. And then we'll probably do one more round, but we will save the last card reading for the collective, which is what we usually always do. So everybody gets a chance to get some kind of information. Wow. All right. So I pulled the spiritual gifts for you too, Anita. And what I have here is a message, I believe, that you need to have your chakras more in balance. It seems as though we actually have to do that all the time because they can go out of balance. And we can do that merely by sitting and doing some breath work and connecting the colors of the rainbow to those areas in us. And usually once we do that and we clear those chakras, things seem to move a little more easily. But it's interesting because it says here that you're being called also to explore psychic surgery to remove energy blockages. And that is all the same as far as I'm concerned. These two go together. Your own has to be done first. Your own should be done first. And then maybe you can work to help other people do the same thing with energy work. Okay.
So the first thing I got was a treadle spinning wheel. And you sitting at it with a big fluff of wool that you have just combed and cleaned yourself. And now you've got to spin it into yarn. You've got your needles sitting there ready to go, but you still have to make the yarn. There's something that has you stuck. You're not trusting yourself, right? You keep putting yourself on this restraint. You're the one that is holding yourself back. Trial and error is the only way we get to do that. And what do we do to go through a transition? If you've given birth, you know, you got to breathe through it. You have to go through it to get out of it. And so, therefore, this transition is something that you actually can accomplish all on your own by doing just what Aley was telling you to do. Go within, take that deep breath, spin the wheel for yourself.
Beautiful.
Create what you want.
Yeah. That was, both of those are beautiful readings. When I tuned in, I saw a dinner plate with, you know, like the balanced meal on it. There was some meat and there was some vegetables, there's something green, there's something orange, you know, all the, and then a glass of milk or something like that. So it's like, they're in, and I've never seen that before, but whether it's literal or metaphorical, I think they're saying, take care of yourself, take care of your physical body, take care of your energetic and spiritual body. What you take in is important, especially at this time. And then when I went to the cards, let's see, I want to make sure I take care of your, yes. I got the 5 of Cups. And I think this relates to what the other ladies were saying about clearing something. You're focused on these ones that have been spilled, and we need to focus to let that go and be happy about the 2 that we have over here, or at least focus on those, because the Feathers deck said the Finch, new opportunities and choices are opening to you now. Claim them. So if you do the breathing or however you want to let go of this, new opportunities will open up for you. And then another way to do it is to, this is the satellite symbol, and the admonition here is to turn on your light. When you let go of those things, focus on the positive for the new opportunities, you're just going to lighten up, and more good things are going to come your way.
Yeah. Turn on your heart light.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Anita. I hope that helped you out. Pooja is next.
Okay.
While we're getting ready for Pooja, I'm going to pull a couple more readings,
Sure.
and then we'll the last one we'll do, it will be the
collective.
Yeah, collective. Thank you, Joan. My brain's frying.
Pooja. Well,
Op Yop.
I can't go any further.
No.
Pooja got She of the Lotus. Pooja, with all of that energy that you have right there, and that holiness that you have right there, you are already in a safe, sacred space. And what they are telling you to do is enjoy a little bit of freedom that you have going on right now. Take it into consideration. I love these 2 cards for you. This is perfect. This is a time to take a deep breath and have some fun.
Awesome.
I agree. Let's see. I'm just going to.
I love it. We've all been so on target today.
Yeah. When I tuned in, I saw you as a little girl, and you were like riding a tricycle, and you had a homemade hat on, sort of a white band, and then there was a feather taped to it. So I don't know what you were pretending, but you were in that creative space, and you're riding the tricycle and having this, you know, magical kingdom or magical experience that you were envisioning, pretending in that creative space on your own there. So it wasn't just like, oh boy, this is fun riding the tricycle. It was this whole story that you were telling yourself, and you were dressed up as someone else, and it was fun. And so I think they're saying to let go of, you know, to get back to that not childish, but like that childlike nature where anything can happen, and envision what that might be. And then I got the hawk, pay attention, a powerful message is being communicated to you. So when you envision things of, something fun or it's whatever it is that you want to accomplish, really envision it like with the eye of a hawk. Be really clear about what you want to manifest and what you want to bring in. And you will step into the overflow, which is this beautiful card about abundance. So that's, kind of that letting go of reality a little bit, tuning into your childlike self and moving into the abundance that living in that kind of vibration can provide for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Well, what I got for you, Pooja, was don't worry about the rain because the sun always comes back out. But it says here cleansing in emotions as well. And so we can say that there are rain from our tears on our face sometimes. But what is it? It's a purging and a cleansing. And so anytime it rains, I know a lot of people go, oh, it's raining. But there is something about it that just is a beautiful thing in how it cleanses all of us. The next thing here is a feast. Oh, my goodness. And there's your plate, Joan, with all the balanced food on it, and it's a different person, but I love it. And there's even bottles clicking together on it, and it says, make sure you take time to indulge in the good things, Pooja. Make sure you're with friends, that you have a good community that can sort of eat together and celebrate life, because that's really what life is all about. And so, yeah. All right, so Anja is next, and then we're going to do the collective. Op Yop is not here, I don't think. So if I see Op Yop though, I'll let you know. And Anja wants a message from her mom, Yursa. I believe that's how you say it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Op Yop had just responded to Bora Bora, but I don't know what that's at. She's here.
Oh, you are here. Then Op Yop, can you please give us what your question is? Okay, and we'll answer it after we do Anja. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, Anja. Your mom was having a hard time coming through to me, but she's here. She just couldn't get words out, so I did pull cards. And there's an interruption in the flow.
Oh, okay.
What she is saying is this is about your interruption. Something is going on. You're going to be interrupted from what it is you are doing because you're needed as the reinforcement. See, Uncle Wiggly is running over here to help hold up that hammock because we got this little beetle over here trying to hold the hippopotamus up on the hammock. That's not working so well. So you are part of this conveyance. And it's important that you answer the call when it comes your way. I'm getting the feeling that this has something to do with a family member who's having a hard time adjusting. Anja, didn't your mom just recently pass, or do I have that mixed up with someone else?
I don't think so, but I'll tell you if it comes up. Yeah.
So and one way or the other, you do understand who this is about and what this is about. Why you have to answer the call, allow the interruption.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was tuning in, I saw first it was just like a yellow star, and then it had kind of like streamers on it. And then I saw this woman carrying it, and then it turned into probably what it was. It was like a kid's star on a stick that had streamers on it that you were waving around. So I think that's your mom maybe referencing something that you might have had as a kid, but also saying that she's looking after, you're kind of a star, and she's looking after you. She also, I got the pelican, choose to follow the path of forgiveness to raise your vibration. So I don't know if she's asking for forgiveness for something that, maybe there were times that, they had crosswords or something like that. So she's asking for forgiveness for things that she feels now after going through life review that maybe she could have done better. But now she's saying for you to prioritize play and pleasure and to cherish your sacredness. That's the Archangel of Mercy, because there's just a lot of love for you there, and you're still her little star, I think.
Beautiful.
There might have been a pause because it was her brother that passed.
Oh,
and it could be that she's busy with him.
She's
okay.
right. She's interrupted there. That's why.
Yes. Yes, I think so. Now that I remember, I knew it wasn't the mother. Her mother died in 12. Yeah,
I remembered that someone had passed from her family.
Yes.
I remember the sadness. So that's it. She's.
Yeah. What do you got, Joan? Got a card?
Well, that makes sense, because I got the Page of Swords and I couldn't quite put that together. So that's a young man communicating, and that might have been part of that too.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah. That makes so much sense what you've said. I get here that she wants you to remain grounded. You got the turkey, but the turkey's low to the ground. As soon as you can, when it gets warmer where you live, get out there and do some planting, do some walking on the ground. The next thing is you get the sea turtle, which is patience. And none of us want to get this card, because who wants to be patient? But Mom says, maybe she's saying, be patient with me. I'm working right now with your brother. It could be that. Finally, she says, girl, you strut with the confidence of a beautiful peacock. Look at that. She said, don't you ever think that you can't do what it is you want to do, that you have that ability. So there you go, sweetheart. Yeah. All right. So we have Op Yop, and I think Op Yop says miserable over politics, finances, health. Can I hear guides? I can't hear guides or angels. Can't calm myself enough to meditate. Can you ask them how I can help myself?
Okay.
We all could use the answer to this. Yeah. All right. And we will do a collective read before we go, everybody. But this one might also be, oh, you're deciding whether or not to have surgery, but you feel you can't make clear decisions because of what's going on. Okay. We had somebody that wanted to travel, and they're kind of wondering. We had that same thing. So let's see what we can find out for you.
I'm getting chills. So they want you to just plan when the surgery should happen. Whether you go to an astrologer to do your chart and help you figure out when a good time is, that the stars will align and things will go well. Pluto in Aquarius will definitely brighten things up, because it is about the community coming together to try to do things correctly together as a group. And when you have surgery, it's a team. And most medical teams right now are trying their hardest to apply to a most beneficial outcome.
That's true. That's very true. Yep. My husband went in yesterday for a outpatient surgery, and we kind of felt up in the air about it too before he went in, but they were absolutely the kindest group of people, and he was treated so nicely, and everything went okay. So.
Oh, I had just looked at your charts, and that was in there.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to just start off with a yes or no, because this is a yes or no question. Is it in Op Yop's best interest to go ahead and have this surgery? Yes, there's a yes. It's not a huge one. Will, after the surgery, after she, let's say in 6 months, will she be pleased that she did it? Thinking. Yes. All right. So there's a yes on that. Then I got two other things that are the cards say, here's the Emperor. It's your decision. Kind of get in touch with yourself and just make the decision. And I think they're also sending these energies toward you, because here's the owl. These are powerful cards.
Yeah.
Your intuition is correct. Follow your inner wisdom without fail. And then the Archangel of Clarity, reflect, rest, and recharge. And I know you don't feel clear right now, but these energies are going to come your way to help you do it. And one of the things, and this is what came to me right away, because earlier this week I was freaking out about some things, and I thought, okay, I need to get this out of my head. So I went for a long walk, and with every stride, I just said a mantra that I said, I am whole, I am well, I am love, I am grateful. And then, after a while, you don't even hear the words, but it's keeping other thoughts out of your head. And for an hour, I just did that, and then I was fine. So
I love
shifting
that
what you're doing.
Yeah. And active meditation is sometimes what we need. And I love that as a solution.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be able to sit down and meditate at that moment either.
Get some of that energy out just by walking or going outside.
Yeah. So and if there's if the surgery is knee surgery or something and you can't walk, just find some other way to make some sort of movement and
do soup cans and do this.
Yeah.
Anything that keeps you active at the same time can calm the mind.
Yeah. And we wish you well, because these are hard decisions.
Yeah, they are hard. So I got a card for you that says reset your timeline. I love that. So what you're wanting to do is to look at your own life as if that's all you have to consider at this point, not what this one says or this going on in the news, because every day there's some other calamity. If we go by that, we'll never be able to do anything we need to do. We have to make that choice consciously to reset our own life and what it is we're doing, because we all have personal power. And I'm getting the feeling that, and look at that, it looks like a leer in there. I'm getting I know. I got the feeling when I pulled this card out that, what is it? Only there was used to be an advertisement, only you can help prevent forest fires. I don't know why that came out, but
that leopard kind of looked like a bear too.
He kind of did. He did. And then you get Kali, and Kali is a very powerful goddess, and she says, seek change. So all of these things here are empowering you to make changes in your own life without having to worry about what either other people think, what's going on here, because we can't put our lives on pause as much as we'd like to until this is all over. It's very be too difficult for us to do that. The other thing I got, which I don't know if this resonates in any way, but it says that you could tap into your guides by doing automatic writing.
Oh, I love that.
And automatic writing is when you just sit with a pen and a piece of paper, and whatever is in your head, you write. And you might think, oh, I'm thinking that. No, you're not. Because if you get involved in it, eventually, profound wisdom comes out. So it might be something that you might try if you feel like that is a calling that you would like. But please know that you are the one that can empower yourself. And as Joan said, if that means you have to get up and take a walk, go and take a Calgon bath, whatever it is that you feel nourishes you, then make sure you do it, because we got to take care of ourselves first.
Love that.
And she did say that she needs hips, or it's the hips, so she can't walk.
It's the hips. And what do the hips do? They move you forward.
Yes. That surgery's in my future too. I'm not quite there yet, but I just from looking into it, people say it's so much better than it used to be. They people are up and walking right away and are back to things within a couple of weeks. So yeah, absolutely. But no medical advice. This is
medical advice. We're not
We're not doctors.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and do let's do a collective read, and thank you everybody for being here. And hopefully some of these messages, sometimes a message is meant for more than one person.
Yeah.
So if you can always take what resonates with you and know that you would just happen to be here and the message was also for you. So anyway. All right.
And I think Julie Ryan of Ask Julie Ryan, she does a lot of medical stuff, and she used to be in sell medical and invent medical instruments. She has a night where you can ask questions, and she's really good at medical things. So,
yeah. Go ahead, Joan.
Are we doing the group reading? Collective reading. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks, everybody. Ooh, wow. I love these cards. I don't use them enough. They're amazing. I don't remember the name of them. All right. So what I got for you guys, for everybody, is if you've not heard of the Emerald Tablet, there was an Egyptian, is it Thoth? Is he the one that had it? Yeah. Thoth, one of the gods of Egyptian times, had beautiful things written on an emerald tablet. I don't know if they ever found it or not, but it is out there. But the point is, it's saying here that we all need to educate ourselves. So I'm not saying this for any kind of anxiety or anything else, but make sure that you have things that you know where they are. For instance, I bought a 25-pound bag of rice. I bought a lot of beans. I have a lot of batteries. I talked to my 401k person, and I'm doing the best job I can because I want to stay educated in what might happen and what I might have to deal with. Again, it's just a preparation. It would be like, if you were going camping, you might want to bring some Band-Aids because you might cut your hand or whatever. That's the first one. They also want you to know that light codes are coming in for us all the time, and they are light codes of love. We are being surrounded by these. They are protecting us. They are working with us. And although we may not see them, they are still there. Finally, I get partnership. And this is wonderful in this card. It says merge together, merge resources. And I love this. Have somebody you can call. Have a buddy that's lives nearby. I don't care who it is. It could be a neighbor. It could be, a young person that comes to take care of your dogs or cats or whatever. But make sure, know that you are protected here as a source, of course. But it's nice to have something so that you have what you need if you end up having to use it or need it.
Go ahead.
Okay. When I tuned in, the first thing I saw, I was seeing a lot of flowers today. I saw a black-eyed Susan, and those are more summer flowers, July, August. So maybe things will be looking brighter at that time. But I was also drawn to the fact that those are pollinators and native plants here, and their roots go really, really deep, and that's how they can survive. They go, So just stay rooted, stay grounded, and we're going through a hard time where we kind of feel all tied up and things feel upside down, but we stay rooted and grounded and know that things are going to be bright again. I got the owl. Your intuition is correct. Follow your inner wisdom without fail. And we're going to need that groundedness and our connection with our inner wisdom. And I think that's going to help get us through that, and our connection with Archangel Metatron, who says, remember who you are. You are you are whole, you are well, you are loved, you are grateful.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely, Joan. Perfect.
The first thing I heard was the Judds singing, "Love will build a bridge between your heart and mine."
Wow. Very nice.
And in that, of course, I was feeling calmer because as a community, we are here together. We love each other. We wouldn't show up show after show, hour after hour, chit chat with each other and ask questions. So there's a trust and a love.
Yeah.
And then I got the Wheel of Fortune, and look, there's our worm again.
Oh, look at
Right.
that.
And we have a swan with it in its mouth, or it looks to be a swan. I say that. So that is, again, that swan is about transition, because she goes from the ugly duckling to the beautiful bird. And a worm reproduces itself. It's hard to injure a worm. And the Wheel of Fortune, well, this too shall change, as the Wheel of Fortune is constantly spinning. So what we have to do now, all of us, what we have to do now is surrender ourselves to the love that we know we can find. That if we surrender to our own love, loving ourselves first.
Yes.
So that it is easier to share it with others, and so that others can see the value within us separately. And then we got the heart chakra, which is always about representing love. And the last card I pulled was the bridge, which is how I started out, was hearing Diane singing with Naomi.
Wow.
So I'm sorry I'm crying, but
it's okay.
Hard, unprecedented times. It is a time where all faiths are coming together at this time of the year. When was it the last time that it was not only the end of the Kali Yuga, but the end of the 9 days of Buddha, the end of Ramadan, this is Passover weekend,
and Easter's coming.
And Easter, and this is the weekend that Yeshua rode into town, was blessed with the palms, and what happened to him next weekend? The Easter miracle. So I'm just.
Yeah, she's crying, Carl. She just has some tears, and that's okay, because we all need to release.
Tears of love and admiration, because we are all. We're all on this bridge.
We're all connected.
We're creating this bridge.
Yeah.
We are the creators of the bridge.
We
Our
are.
hands and hearts are locked. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. And thank you to those new people that are in the chat. And yes, we have a wonderful best chatters in the entire world in our community. And we're glad you're part of it. So thank you for being here. Carl says, love you, Diana.
Carl, I love you too. I haven't seen you in so long.
I know. Take care, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your day and lovely weekend. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Diana.
Thanks to you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.